Hello, everyone, and welcome to Connecting Tucson with Jaime Overturf, a division of Mark Bishop Media. Today we're on location at ZPizza Tap House in Oro Valley, and if you have not been here, you are missing out. They have phenomenal pizza. We are here with the Oro Valley Neighborhood Group and Doughty Overturf, where they put the happy in happy hour. This is a unique networking group where they have both businesses and individuals coming together to support local businesses. And guess what? Our group is free. We have a lot of wonderful guests that we'll be speaking with today, from Rob Curcio, the owner of ZPizza Tap House, all the way to Cara Riley,
all right,
the Oro Valley Chief of
up
Police.
on the program
Cannot
roster
wait
is
to
Doughty
get this show started.
Overturf.
And welcome everybody.
She actually is the one organizing these events for the Oro Valley Neighborhood Group. Doughty, let's let our listeners know a little bit about you. Tell us what you used to do and how you came to start this group.
Well, I'm Doughty. I'm from Iowa. I lived there my whole life until I moved here, and now I'm an Oro Valley resident. And for a big portion of my life, I've organized events. I've been a private events director at country clubs, member relations coordinator. I like getting people together and using my creativity for events.
Nice. Excellent. So why did you start your own instead of just joining someone else and trying to promote them?
Well, because I like to combine my OCD for details and my love for fun and events for everybody, and I didn't want to exclude anyone, because this group is for people to meet, whether they're meeting friends or they're just looking for something to look forward to once a month, or if they're looking for business. It's for everybody.
Right. So this isn't just a business networking group. This is a group that gets together to try to promote local businesses in Oro Valley. You're bringing the happy to happy hour, right?
Yeah. And you will make business off it. It's not a bunch of salespeople, 100% people trying to sell each other stuff. It's everybody, because, anybody could be your customer. Anyone could want to go to an event, and what we're trying to do is also help the local restaurants. And I've seen too many go out of business, so if we could just collaborate there and put money in their pockets, that's part of my mission too.
Right. And what is your goal for this group?
My goal is for locals to have something to look forward to that's fun in Oro Valley or the Northwest, but to help the restaurant on a day, it's a Wednesday, so it's more of a slower day, and just to help them get more revenue that day and for us to look forward to something. But I like to combine a local charity. I like to combine local entertainment. I like to combine all the local businesses and also just local people.
Yes, that is one of the big unique things that I love about your group. Anybody can join, and you're helping businesses. You also do a lot with nonprofits and charities. Like tonight, all of the proceeds, but 10% of the proceeds are going to Lifeline Oro Valley Animal Rescue, and that is phenomenal. Who else? Or do you do any other with any other charities, or is it just mainly you focus in one area?
Well, yeah, I'd like to get started with, I just played in that golf tournament with you for the Combat Motorcycle Veterans Association.
Yes.
And I thought they were a blast. It was a really good golf tournament, and I liked how they were very organized as well. But I do help out the Oro Valley Legion. And hello, there I am. So the Oro Valley Legion Post 132. I plan on collecting hygiene items and clothes. So no extra money out of our pocket. Mm-hmm. It's stuff we already have anyways, really. If we could bring that to the events, and I'll just start collecting, because they have a big mission they do in a couple months for the homeless veterans in our area.
That is phenomenal. I knew I joined this group for a reason. Let me just put it that way. Well, my last question that I always like to ask, what do you like best about what you do?
Well, it's fun. It's a lot of meetings beforehand, and a lot of details, and a lot of calls, and a lot of organization. But I kind of like organizing things. It's always, it kind of runs in the family. But I like to have fun, and they're fun.
Yes, they absolutely are. So, Doughty, thank you so much for hosting these events, getting these together. I know it takes so much time and organization just to get one of these done, and you do this every month. It's I don't know how you do it and where you find the time, but thank you. And if anybody is interested in joining, all of the links will be on my social media page. It is the Oro Valley Neighborhood Group. Thanks so much, Doughty.
Thank you.
All right, and next in our lineup, we have Shay Larsen. Her husband and her have started their own heating and air conditioning business, and they are a part of the Oro Valley Neighborhood Group. Welcome, Shay.
Thank you.
Excellent. So I'd like to start off by letting my listeners know a little bit about who they're talking with. So tell me about yourself, Shay.
Very good. I am a Arizona native, born and raised in Phoenix, and we moved to Oro Valley in May. So
Wow.
we joined the Oro Valley Neighborhood Group to meet new neighbors and to meet new friends, and then become more involved in the community.
That is wonderful. So were you born up in Phoenix?
I am born and raised.
So you are an actual Arizonan.
I am a native Arizonan. I left for a few years. We were up in Washington for 15 years, and then decided to make our way back home.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. I love Arizona.
It's
the
beautiful
climate
here.
is just so great. So how long have you lived in Oro Valley?
We moved here in May.
Okay, so a little over a year.
Well, 6 months right now at this
Oh,
point.
I was thinking May of 2020.
Oh, no,
Dang.
this year.
So
May.
you're new.
I am
All right.
new.
Okay, so what do you like best about the Oro Valley Neighborhood Group?
Well, I like best that I can meet neighbors. It's really hard, especially in the the day and age that we're in right now. I
Right.
won't say the words, but it's hard to meet people, and I'm a social creature, and I enjoy engaging with other humans and being a part of my community at large. So it's the best part about it is these events where we can meet people, talk about common interests, and enjoy ourselves. And then just have a little networking situation where if you have a business and you want others to know more about you.
Excellent. So why choose this group over somebody else?
Doughty Overturf. No, I choose this group, one, because the location is nearest to my home, and all the events so far have been in northern Tucson and Oro Valley area, right? So proximity-wise, it makes it easier at the end of your workday
Right.
to go and join the happy hour, because if you're across town, it'd make it a little bit more difficult to engage. But I also like the culture of this group. It's
Right.
new people all the time. You're meeting new people, repeat and new every single event.
Excellent. So do you believe that the last couple of events have helped you meet new friends and connections?
Oh, absolutely, such as yourself. I met you in October. But yeah, absolutely. Like I said, it's always new people, and it's growing and obviously gaining steam with the more and more events that we have. So it is nice to meet new people for sure.
Excellent. So why do you like to help Doughty and do some volunteering for her?
Well, I enjoy the social aspect of it. So getting to check people in and just say hi to everybody and welcome them to the group. I think it does two things. One, it helps the person that is coming here knows nobody. Like, one of our friends showed up, Jane, and she said, well, all my friends that were going to come didn't come, so I don't know anybody here. And I said, yes, you do. You know everybody in the room. We're all friends. So slap a name tag on and enjoy yourself. So I just think that being the first person that meets somebody that's nervous, that comes to a group, they don't know anybody, it helps them to feel more comfortable. And for me, it serves my need to help others. So
I absolutely love it. So what do you love best about the Oro Valley Neighborhood Group?
it's just the vibe that you get when you walk in. Everybody's having fun.
They're
and
fun, right?
The energy is so high. It makes you want to have fun. It makes you want to be a part of it. So most for me, I like the energy that the group brings and just the openness that everybody has had so far.
All right. Do you recommend this group to anyone, or do you?
Yeah, I recommend it to everybody that I meet at the grocery store, everywhere that I go. I'm sharing the group. But absolutely, I recommend it. And it's a good time for however often you can come.
Excellent. So just put in a little bit of plug for your heating and air business. Why do you guys start a heating and air business?
Well, my husband he's been in his entire career. And he loves to help others. I think a lot of trades have an opportunity to have people that are willing to not just, be in business, but be a part of the community and be helpful to the community. And so integrity and just transparency in what we're doing is important to him, and it's important to our business. So that's why.
Well, excellent. I want to thank you for stopping by our table, letting us know a little bit about yourself and about the Oro Valley Neighborhood Group and what it's all about. So thank you so much for coming on, and hopefully I'll see you on a future podcast.
You know I will.
All right.
And next up in our lineup, we have Kara Riley, the police chief for the Oro Valley Police Department. Thank you so much for coming on, Connecting Tucson.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Excellent. I always like to start off by getting my listeners to know a little bit about each person. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
So as you know, I'm the new police chief for Oro Valley Police Department. I became your chief in 2020, but I've been in law enforcement for over 30 years. And a fun fact, I guess I would say about me is that I was not raised in this country. I was raised in primarily the Middle East, but mostly in Sudan, Africa. And I came back to America when I was 16 and was stopped by the police for speeding, and that's how I became a cop.
That is an interesting story. Excellent. So you said you came on in the midst of 2020, and you were thrown right into the fire. Let's just put it that way. What are some of the challenges that you have faced from coming in on 2020 up until now, and how have you and the police department overcame them?
Sure. I think the public should know that we have an amazing police department. Our men and women are the finest law enforcement professionals, and I'm blessed every day to be able to represent them and work with them. The two things that I focused on during the pandemic was to serve this community in the expected level that they were used to and should demand, and we were able to do that. And the second was keeping our staff members safe.
Right.
And if at the end of each day, and I ask myself that 3 times a day, one in the morning, one in the midday, and one in the afternoon. And if I could answer yes at the end of each one of those statements, then we were winning.
Right.
And that's really what I focused on. And so as we went through and maneuvered through the pandemic, we then ended up having some civil unrest concerns that we had to deal with, as well as the Bighorn fire. And I do always have to give a shout out to our fellow public safety firefighters who saved this community. We were 1/4 of a mile away from losing structures.
Oh, geez.
And then we had police officers who were responsible for evacuations during the pandemic with the Bighorn fire. So it was just a lot of things going on at once. And I just think the public should know that I'm indebted to the men and women of this agency, and I hope that they are as well. They've done a remarkable job.
I would say I would call them a team, but the police department works so well with all of the other first responders, and how you guys handled everything from the pandemic to the Bighorn fire, 120,000 plus acres, to things such as legalizing marijuana and having new things. You're doing phenomenal, and I just want to say thank you so much for everything. So I know you've been in law enforcement for a long time. What type of roles have you had in law enforcement up until now?
So I started with the Oro Valley in 2004, but prior to that, I had been a police officer and a police sergeant at the airport police. And then I came to Oro Valley in 2004 and was able to work the line level patrol positions, and then I worked my way up through the ranks and have managed every section of the agency. So the agency is split up into 2 sections. One, support services, which is criminal investigations. We also have like our records, communications. And then on the other side of it is field services, which is the uniform positions. And so once I managed those, I also was allowed to be, and fortunately chosen as the executive officer in 2012, which is managing the day in and out duties of the police chief.
Okay.
And then they had a national search for the police chief position starting in 2019, late 19, and went into early 2020. And I was chosen in January of 2020 from that search. Very fortunately chosen, and then took over February of 2020, and the pandemic started 3 weeks later.
Oh, my goodness. Well, like I said, you were thrown into the fire. So why do you like to come to these types of community events?
I love engaging our community, and I tell people, if you invite me with 1 person or 500, the circle of influence on each person individually, you just never know. And I think it's really important as a police chief to tell the story of the men and women of our agency. It's really important so that people know the heroism that goes on every day with this agency.
All right. Now, I know towards 2020, there were a couple of programs that came out. One was Adopt a Business. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So we've had Adopt a Business for many years.
Oh, okay.
Many years. And it's one where police officers, including myself, are assigned three to five businesses, and they are required to go out twice a month, engage the business manager, the owners of the business, to make sure that there aren't any concerns that come up. We also want to make sure that we're providing that face-to-face contact, because we want the public to be comfortable to call us.
Right.
Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, we need them to call us and feel confident that they're going to get a police officer, and so that's why we engage it. In addition, when we have a trend of crime that might be occurring, let's say at Walmart, it might also affect Ross or TJ Maxx, so we have a group email that can be sent out to everybody because of this program as well.
That's amazing. I didn't realize everything that it did, but that's amazing. And I always end up with this last question.
Yes.
What do you love best about what you do?
I love representing the men and women of this agency.
That was
If I had to give one cent, that would be it. Yep.
Oh, well, thank you so much for your service. I'm so happy that you came on, and you're going to get a lot of exposure here, and hopefully we can get our community back, and that's how it goes.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you. And next up in our lineup, we have Michelle Smith, who is a wine consultant with PRP Wine. Welcome, Michelle. How are you doing tonight?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
I love it. I thank you so much for being on the show. Michelle, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my husband and I had recently moved to the Tucson area. We moved, it'll be a year in December, from Indianapolis, Indiana. So we're so happy to be here and away from snow.
Yes, because right now, don't they have snow back in Indiana?
Yes, they have had snow.
Oh, my goodness. Yes. I like it much better here, where I can look at it atop on Mount Lemon, and I can say hi and still be warm.
Yes, exactly.
So what is PRP Wine?
Well, PRP Wine offers our customers the in-home wine sampling experience. So everyone that we work with, they have the party, we bring the wine, they get to try before they buy, and it's always a fun experience, a different way to get together with family and friends.
Seems a little bit safer that way. Do you offer all varieties of wine, or how does that work?
We have international wines. They're from all over the world. So I bring the world to your living room. And we do have some California wines, but no Arizona wines. So it's always something different. We have different wines that come available different times of year. And they're made from winemakers all over the world, small vineyards, so limited supply. They're boutique wines. You're not going to find them in restaurants or stores in the U.S.
That's amazing. With all of the wines to choose from, how do you know what to bring to each event?
Oh, I talk to the customer and see what their preferences are. So we can go red, we can go white, we can go sweet, we can go dry. So I ask what their preference is, and we go from there. And they have to consider their guests, too.
Oh, I guess so.
Yes.
So I know you've done a couple of things with some local charities here, like the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association. They just had their charity golf tournament, and you donated $600 worth of wine to that charity event. Why do you do those types of things, and who else do you help?
Well, actually, what I do is I donate certificates for in-home wine sampling experiences.
Nice.
For those charity wine certificates, the person who gets the certificate is allowed up to 12 people for their wine sampling event, and they get 8 bottles of wine, which they get to keep after I'm done with telling them about all the wines and sampling them.
That's amazing.
Yes. So it's usually a silent auction or a raffle, so people are contributing in that way, but I donate them to the cause, and it helps the community in that way, and I get wine business out of it. So
excellent. So you're here now, and you're part of the Oro Valley Neighborhood Group meetups. What do you like best about it?
Oh my gosh, I'm loving it, because every time it's a different group of people. I mean, I do run into some of the same people, but there's always new faces, and I love making connections. I'm not from the area, so This has been a wonderful way for me to meet people, and this is how I met Doughty and found out we were neighbors. So
Wow.
Yeah.
So why do you like coming to the events? What do you like best about it?
Oh gosh, it's always a good time, and it's fun to get out and meet people, and the food from the local restaurants that you may have them at, and I guess it's more of the social part of it that I enjoy most. I work from home, and so to be able to get out and actually see people face to face, it's nice.
Right. I like best that it's not just a business networking group. Anybody can join this.
Exactly.
And that is, I think, what makes it so fun and unique. And Doughty always has like a rock star event. Like right now we've got music in the background playing. There's good food. There's booze.
Yeah.
So I love it. So do you believe that coming to these events gets you new business and makes new connections?
Oh, every time. I've had so many, I would say every other week I have a new client from someone I've met through the group. Most of these people, they even know people who could use my services. Wine is a great gift. So with the holiday season right around the corner, I've gotten phone calls. We have sales. Now's the perfect time to buy wine for me because I've got a Thanksgiving sale going on. So people call me up and, hey, I met you at this event.
I love it.
Yeah.
So tell us about your Thanksgiving special. What is that?
We have, this would be available through Thanksgiving weekend. Buy a case of wine, you get 2 free bottles plus up to 2 more at 50% off. So that,
Wow.
if there's a $100 bottle of wine that you've been wanting to try, I can get it to you for 50% off if you buy a case.
What?
Yeah.
That is phenomenal.
Exactly.
All right, so we're going to have to exchange cards. So I always ask every one of my podcast peeps, is what I like to call them, what do you like best about what you do?
Oh, I love meeting people. So each wine tasting is a different group of people, and just I learn more about Oro Valley and the surrounding area from people that I meet. I find out about different restaurants. I find out about just different places to hang out, just from the wine sampling experiences. And I'm making new friends all the time, so it's great.
Yes, I never knew about ZPizza Taproom here until we started doing this.
Oh, this is my first time here.
I know, so I like getting out there and trying out the new locals and supporting locals. So anyways, I wanted to say thank you so much, Michelle, for coming on. I appreciate you letting us know a little bit about PCP Wine and why you like the Oro Valley Neighborhood Group. And yeah, thanks.
PRP Wine International, and I hope to get together with you for your wine sampling experience.
Oh, don't worry, I will be calling.
All right. Thank you.
Rob, thank you so much for coming on Connecting Tucson with Jaime Overturf. I am honored to have you on, and I can't wait to let our listeners know just a little bit about you. So why don't you, Rob Curcio, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background with the pizza, and what prompted you to open up a restaurant?
Sure. Well, my family's been in the pizza business for all my life. Mom and Dad started out owning a pizzeria back before I was even born. In fact, I was in my mom's belly when she was spinning pizzas in the pizza oven. So I guess I was born into it. So yeah. So when the opportunity came to open up a restaurant in Oro Valley, about 10 years ago, actually, Oro Valley and pizza were just a natural selection. My wife and I have been in the community in Oro Valley since we moved here. We moved here from New York about 30 years ago.
Wow.
Actually, 23 years ago, not 30 years ago. And Oro Valley was just a natural selection because it's our community. And like I said, pizza was a natural selection also because I was in the pizza business a long time ago with my family as well.
Well, excellent. So what is unique about ZPizza?
Sure. ZPizza, it really prides itself on, well, first of all, Sid Fenneroff. I should give him some compliments. Sid Fenneroff started ZPizza about 36 years ago. And one of the biggest things that he really wanted to bring to the pizza business was all natural ingredients. Our tomato sauce starts out with an all natural organic based tomato sauce. Our flour is non-GMO. Our cheese is made with milk from grass-fed beef. So there are no soy fillers, no other fillers in our product whatsoever. When you come here, you know you're getting a naturally good product that's naturally better for you. In fact, that's one of their tag phrases.
And I will tell you this, it is phenomenal. So if you haven't been here, you need to try this place out. You do a lot for the community. In fact, tonight we are doing a fundraising event for Lifeline Oro Valley Animal Rescue. You're donating 10% of the proceeds tonight to them to help with the animals.
Yep.
What other types of events or programs do you do to help give back to the community?
Sure, we do a lot of fundraisers every year mostly for the schools in the area. We've got Painted Sky, we've got Basis, we've got Lehman School,
Yes.
we've got Ironwood Ridge, and we do a lot of fundraisers for all of them throughout the year. Even some of the Oro Valley lacrosse team, the kickball team, things like that. We sponsor some teams, but we also do things like. We just did an event, not an event necessarily, but we gathered a bunch of things for some of the frontline workers down at UMC in their ICU units, some care bags for them. So anytime we can, we never really refuse anybody. We won't write anybody a cash check, but somebody wants to come in and do a fundraiser, help us out with business, bring local business in, and we can partner with them. We'd love to partner with them and share the wealth, so to speak.
All right. How many events like these do you do in your restaurant? Is this one of the first local marketing groups that you've done, or?
Yeah, this is probably, I think we did one other event through the chamber. It was just a mixer, but I think this is the first type of event that we've done like this with someone like you and Doughty and the animal rescue people. But yeah, it's great. It's great for the whole community. It's great for us. It's great for you guys, the networking, the rest of the businesses that are going to be coming in here and networking. It's going to be a good fit.
I think it's definitely a good fit for you guys. And what do you hope to gain from having something like this type of event come to your restaurant?
Awareness mostly. I mean, of not awareness necessarily for the ZPizza, but awareness for the community. Oro Valley is a really good, generous community. You ask, Oro Valley comes to the plate. They really do. And, whether ZPizza and our restaurant here makes a lot of money at it is irrelevant. It's really about the networking, the people getting together and just having a good time. Let's get back to business again.
Yes, we need to get back to business. What are some challenges you're facing right now?
Oh, man. Besides supply chain stuff, increased prices, things like bacon and chicken and even our tomato sauce, everything's just going through the roof price-wise.
What are some things we can do to help as the community? What can we do to help?
I don't know, unless you have a big truck that can bring tomato sauce over from California. I don't know what you can necessarily do, but just don't be shocked when some of us are going to start raising our prices here come the first of the year. A lot of us have kind of held the prices where they are, even though we've been paying higher prices for the last 3 to 6 months.
Well, when you think about it, I mean, everything is skyrocketing.
Right.
The cost to doing business is skyrocketing. Sure. The supplies are skyrocketing. Yeah. Real estate just went through the roof.
Sure.
It's no shock, and I think most of our listeners are seeing that as well. Yeah. And I will tell you, the one thing that we can do as, Oro Valley, Tucson, wherever, is to come out, eat local, shop local, make sure that we're helping the business owners here, and that's what we're all about. Sure. I just have one last question for you.
Absolutely.
What's your favorite thing about doing what you're doing?
The networking, seeing the smile on people's faces, coming to a table and asking them how their meal was and them telling me how much they enjoyed the atmosphere and the food, and that's what I really like about it,
Well, I thank you so much. We are just finished up talking with Rob Curcio, the owner of ZPizza Taproom here in Oro Valley. If you have not checked them out, you need to check them out. Thank you so much again for coming on, and I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right. Bye. All right. And now we are talking with Corey Spector, one of the most popular musicians in town, in my opinion. I would like to let our listeners know a little bit about you. So tell us, give us a background history. What brought you into this business, and how to go from there?
It goes way back. It goes back to, I have to thank my brother, Kenny, who owned every little 45 you can imagine. And my parents were putting me in front of a TV when the Beatles were on the Ed Sullivan Show, and that just kind of blew me away. And as a kid, I just wanted to be George Harrison playing a baseball bat on my bed. And over time, it eventually worked out. That's how it is. So.
That's awesome. So how many shows do you think you've done?
Oh, gosh, now it's been 10 years, and it's got to be average about 250 shows a year. Got to be at least about 2,500 to 3,000 shows in the last 10 years.
So why do you think you're so popular with the town?
I think it's the music that I share. I'm very lucky to have grown up in a generation of music that has standed the test of time, that when I play a song, 25-year-olds love them, 75-year-olds lived them. So that's, have a funny story, I'll tell you.
All right.
I hope you don't mind telling the story.
Absolutely. Share away.
Played one night, and there was a 21-year-old gal who just, U of A graduate. First time she can go out and have a drink, and brought a whole bunch of friends, and they all got into the music. I was playing my music's late 50s to early 80s. And so at the end, she came up and said, "This is so great. This is my mom's music. I had such a wonderful time, and we were dancing, having a great time." And I didn't have the heart to tell her and say, "This is not your mom's music. This is your grandma's music that your mom loved, and you played." And so that's kind of the definition of what it's just generational. I'm very lucky. Elton John, Billy Joel, James Taylor, Beatles, Eagles, things like that.
I love every single band that you just named, which is probably, their songs are iconic, and they can go with any generation, in my opinion.
I have 25-year-olds who go crazy over Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Oh,
and
yes.
things like that. So it's just, so I'm very lucky to have that whole wide range of reaching everybody.
Excellent. So I know you've got a rather large event coming up. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, it's coming up to the holidays right now, and there's a couple of different things that are happening, and I'll kind of try and quickly say this. The night before Thanksgiving, when people are in town and they just finished thawing out their turkey and have to get ready for the next day, I'm playing at a place called Cafe Torino on the foothills, which is, there's a Cafe Torino here in Oro Valley, but they own one on the east side. So if you feel like coming out the night before Thanksgiving with company, I'll be there. And then on Christmas Eve, Christmas night, and on New Year's Eve, I'll be at the JW Star Pass Marriott. It's a salute patio out there.
Wonderful.
So
well, now we know where we can find you.
Yeah.
So knowing those events are coming up, how can people find out where you're at?
Two ways. They can go to my website, which is www.coryspector.com, Cory with an E, and they'll find all my music dates ahead. My Facebook page always has my events, so if you Facebook friend me, you'll be able to see where I'm at. I play a whole range of places all through Tucson, and I do go up to Sedona and play Sedona one weekend a month, so I feel like I know to Sedona.
So asking for a friend, do you do private events?
Yes, I do. If the time can fit right to what I do, yes. I mean, it's great to ask, and hopefully I can work it out if I do the private events. Yes.
That's wonderful. All right, so why do you like doing these types of venues?
It's just because something like this or anywhere, again, the songs I play, and again, there's something I do differently than anybody else, and that's because I, one night, decided I would, I'll throw my songs on a piece of paper and throw it out in there and see if people want to hear them. And that was, years ago, and that was 100 songs. And people just went crazy over it. And now there's 350 songs. And because of the pandemic, there's QR codes now, which I learned how to use. So it becomes an interactive evening. I'm playing the songs of what you want to hear, of what I know, and people have gotten into it because it's a memory for them. It's their wedding song, it's their song in college, a song in high school. So now I can't guarantee every song. I get 60 songs in a night, and I can only play 30 or 35. So I'm hoping that I'll grab yours, but people tend to love all the different styles of music that it is. So you have a vested interest in the music of the night.
Absolutely.
And that's how it goes. So it becomes a great night for fun for everybody.
Yes, because you're playing everything we're playing. And the unique thing about it is you have the QR code on every single table, and you can use it with your smartphone these day and ages, and then choose that song. So
Before the pandemic, it was a big sheet, a legal size sheet with Post-it notes, and now it's all QR code. And yes, anybody can do it. I didn't know how to do it, but now anybody can do it.
Exactly. So one last question I ask every single person. What do you love best about what you do?
It's touching hearts. It's touching a memory for somebody. And that's the whole thing. If I can bring somebody's memory back to them and have a good time, it's that connection. That's what, and luckily the music I play is focused on that. I grew up in an era where melodies, harmonies, lyrics, poetry, everything meshed into one big thing. That's why it's timeless, and I've been very lucky to be that way in my music, and that's what it's all about.
Well, I am so happy you came here, Corey. Thank you so much for coming out and not only supporting Oro Valley, but tonight we're actually donating 10% of the proceeds that we have to.
And that's a major cause, too.
I know, Lifeline Oro Valley Animal Rescue. So I wanted to say thank you so much, and we appreciate everything you do, and I love your music. Thank you.
We'll have a good time tonight, and thank you for having me.
All right. And that is all with Connecting Tucson and Jaime Overturf. We are live at ZPizza Tap House. Hope you enjoyed the show. Remember, Tucson, keep on making unique connections and step outside that box.